Now, First Alert 6 weather.
Happy Friday, everyone. Hope your day's off to a great start. We are checking in on the commute. We do this every morning where we live stream for a little while here, right near the peak of our morning drive. And here for the next 10 to 15 minutes, we'll talk through any issues that do pop up. Now, I will say we don't have Omaha schools in session. The OPS district has no classes today or Monday. And the same case is in place for Bellevue School. So a lot less traffic that's on the road. But we'll still be watching for any kind of issues that may pop up. And I think one of the things that we will be experiencing for those who are driving this morning is the sun glare. That could be a factor. You can see that a little bit there from this camera that is showing up on 370 right around I-80. So as you're looking eastbound there, it's not straight in your eyes, but it's kind of just offset, so it might be in your periphery a little bit, and that could be distracting for you with how bright that is. So first alert to that. That's something that you may notice as we start off our day. And let's go ahead and check in on the full map, and we'll see if there's any kind of delays that are starting up in some of those classic sun glare spots. Those are typically as you're going eastbound 370 approaching I-80, I-80 itself approaching 84th, and then Dodge around 156 to 168th. And it looks like each of those at this point anyway is doing pretty well. We really don't have a whole lot of places that are seeing delays. I zoom in a little bit here. You can see 144th is showing some delays southbound as you are getting right around the the I-80 area that extends back toward Harrison. You also have some northbound travel with a little bit of some delays there as well. A couple of other spots. L Street has had some occasional delays as you're making your way westbound approaching 120th. We also have Center as you get to that point where it joins with Industrial. And you've got some delays that are showing up there westbound between Industrial and 144th on Center. So watch for those. Nothing major there. There's that area I was mentioning before, 370 and 144th. And then I did notice Blair High. Let me scan up in that direction. You will see up in that area. Your graphics cooperate with me. We have seen some occasional delays that have been showing up as you approach 680 heading eastbound on Blair High. So another spot where things are a little slow. Eastbound Dodge now starting to show some minor delays as you get from 90th back towards 680. That's another pretty common area for us to have delays within the last week. We've been seeing that. Let me pull up a camera here, and we'll take a look at what things are looking like in that area. I'm working on getting our Children's Nebraska camera. And you can look closely there. Let me take this full screen so you can get a little bit of a better vantage point. Things moving along. This is the viewpoint as you're closer to 74th and 72nd heading toward the UNO campus. And it's a little slow. It's not too bad, though, with the travel in that stretch. The bigger delays are a little further to the west, though, as you're closer to 90th. So we'll let this roll for a little bit, and I will first alert you if we start seeing any other issues. We'll check in on some other spots here in just a bit. All right, you've been watching Dodge. This is right around 74th. Notice the sun glare kind of just off to the side there. That could be a factor for you this morning as you drive eastbound. We're going to leave this camera and investigate report of possible issue in Sarpy County. We're going to head around Cornhusker. So follow me. We'll take a look at this as we zoom in right around 36th, so close to the JFK. A little further to the west of there. And as we look into this area, not seeing obvious delays, but we may have a crash in this area. So something to watch for if you head into that area, that there may be some emergency crews that are around. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll check in on this again in a bit and see if any kind of new delays do start showing up with that near 36th and Cornhusker. In the meantime, let's circle back to a few of our other delays that we had been seeing this morning. Nothing that's been a big problem for us in the early going, but we do have some light delays showing up near I-80 on 370 westbound. Right. We also got some delays that are on center approaching 156. Watch for that. And then L Street westbound as you get near 120th. We've got some delays there. Again, we'll keep an eye on this situation near 36th and Cornhusker, where we may have a crash that has taken place. Not seeing any delays showing up around here yet, but we'll continue to check in on this just to see if that becomes a little more apparent of some problems that may be caused there to the west of the JFK on Cornhusker. We are starting to get a few more delays showing up in some other spots. That includes both directions on Dodge approaching 90th, so definitely picking up our traffic volume in this very busy stretch of roadway. Eastbound back to about 680, westbound extending all the way to 72nd. Things a little slow in that area, so watch for that as a spot we may have some delays showing up. I think we'll go back to that camera there, that Children's Nebraska camera that we have, and show you some Dodge traffic. We'll check in on some other spots, and then we'll circle back to that 36th and Cornhusker area. So you're looking right around the 74th area or so of Dodge, and certainly some traffic moving through here, just a little slow, no major problems showing up around here. Check back in on one of the other spots that we had heard some possible issues with a crash that may be in place near 36th and Cornhusker. So far, I haven't seen any delays showing up around this area. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Not seeing things slow down just yet, but that does not mean there's not a crash there. Just use some extra caution as you head through that stretch. Otherwise, we've been off to a pretty good start this morning. I do want to check in. We have a couple of different areas where we have some construction that could be slowing some things down, so I do want to circle to some of those. Sorensen, you get right around 42nd. You're heading eastbound. You are looking at some lane restrictions there. Seems like traffic is handling that in okay shape right now. That's scheduled through Wednesday. Also have a couple of areas of Cummings Street with some work on either side of 480, and there are some delays showing up in this area, so watch for that. We've got eastbound as you're between 34th and 32nd. That says you're heading toward the North Freeway and 480 interchange. You also have westbound close to the Creighton campus between 21st, 24th with some lane restrictions. So watch for things to be a little bit slower through that stretch. We also have a couple of things near the airport to watch for. If you are using Abbott Drive, uh, well, we have some work that's happening on stores between 16th and 9th. That's still scheduled for 2 weeks. As far as Abbott Drive is concerned, as you're heading from the south up toward Epley, you've got varying lane restrictions before you get to the terminals for about a week. Through Tuesday, still could have some work happening around Abbott and Hartman. That's on the north side of the terminals. So it's a little busy in that stretch with some construction. Thankfully, it doesn't look like it's impacting traffic too much, but not a bad idea to leave a little extra time if you are heading in that direction. Let's once again check in on that 36th and Cornhusker area. Make sure nothing's popping up. Still looking pretty good on the traffic maps, but again, some extra caution not going to be a bad idea. And then I think we will take this full screen, give you a quick wrap-up of our commute since we aren't having any other issues popping in or slowdowns. You do just kind of see that area of Dodge that's gotten busy between 680 and 72nd, both directions with some occasional delays showing up. And 144th also struggling a little bit as you head southbound toward I-80. But most of our roads are really doing pretty well. Again, we don't have the OPS schools in session. We have Bellevue schools also out of session this morning, so likely part of the reason why there's lighter traffic out there. But keep in mind you've got some sun glare impacts as you head along Dodge, I-80, 370, any of your eastbound roads. You'll have that just kind of offset, and that's right in your periphery as you're heading out and about this morning. So be aware of that. Hopefully things stay pretty quiet. It is Friday the 13th, so we'll hope that that doesn't mean anything for the rest of the commute. Things have been pretty smooth so far. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a great